These pipes were sticking out of the ground, this is what was underneath. As Matty and Jesse decided to press on, they had no idea what lay ahead. Harley's barks echoed sharply off the walls. The path forward looked eerie, but they were determined. Further in, Matty suddenly grabbed Jesse's shoulders. "I know what this is," he said. Though he was excited, there was a nervous edge to his voice too. When Matty Griezmann and his best friend Jesse Mason announced they wanted to be treasure hunters, they were met with skepticism. The 20-year-olds didn't find it funny. It was a serious ambition, and they were eager to prove to their families that this was a legitimate career. However, they still needed to navigate a tricky situation to get started. Matty's dad, Anthony Griezmann, though young, was a successful attorney in the Oakwood part of Dayton, Ohio. Matty knew that convincing his father wouldn't be easy. The pair had pooled their savings but were still short for travel expenses. The young men were sweating bullets as they approached Mr. Griezmann. The success of their plans rested with him now. Matty had been the apple of his father's eye since he was young. With the same dark hair and startling brown eyes, they were like intergenerational clones of each other. Mr. Griezmann had always expressed disappointment that Matty hadn't followed his career path. Knowing this, Matty knew what he had to do. Jesse was shorter than Matty and quieter too. Mr. Griezmann would often tell him to get a haircut. Standing before him to ask for money was intimidating. Jesse planned to push his hair to the side, hoping it would appear shorter. Matty planned to strike a deal with his father. Neither of them knew if it would actually work. Mr. Griezmann's stern face stared at the best friends through dark glasses. The pair felt like 8 years old having to explain how they had broken the patio window. Knowing that his father wanted him to join the family business, Matty promised if they weren't successful after 3 months, he would complete his law degree and join his father's law firm. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Mr. Griezmann agreed to lend them the money. The boys were ecstatic and wanted to start packing, but Mr. Griezmann stopped them. He had one condition. He was only giving them 2 months, not 3, to make a success of this. It was their only shot now. They knew it had to count. In record time, they bought equipment and the arrangements were made. They touched down in Cologne on a bright day. Their destination was Teutoburg Forest in the North Rhine-Westphalia area of Germany. A 3,000 square mile wooded paradise, it supposedly was the site of priceless World War II relics. After finally reaching the forest, the young men immediately encountered a surprise. The friends spotted a black dog frolicking around. She was very friendly and clearly lost. The tag on her collar said Harley. Seeing no owners about, they let Harley tag along with them. She turned out to be a friendly companion and had a great nose. Finding her would prove far more fortunate than the men ever imagined. Harley seemed to know the forest. Before long, she bounced along ahead. Her keen nose was onto something and she led the men deeper into the woods. After some time, Harley began barking ahead. Matt and Jesse rushed to find her and stopped when they noticed something unusual. There was an odd array of pipes protruding from the ground. As the men studied the pipes, they realized these were connected to something underground. Their excitement was palpable now. Following the pipes, they found a staircase that seemed to lead to some kind of underground cellar. They were beyond excited now as they realized it was clearly some kind of hidden chamber. Following Harley, the men headed down the stairs and entered the structure. It was damp and massive, the smell overwhelming. Harley's echoing barks ahead, the murky darkness becoming unnerving. Unpacking solar torches, when there was finally some light, Matt checked his research and jumped up in excitement. "This is a Second World War bunker," he exclaimed with glee. The strange pipes connected to some kind of ventilation system. Decades of overgrowth up top had kept them hidden all along. The recent frigid temperatures probably killed the bushy areas to reveal them. It suddenly dawned on them. They were the first people to see this place since the Second World War. Exploring the rooms, they found an unused mortar shell. Above ground, Jesse used his metal detector, which indicated a solid presence in the ground. Digging around in the corresponding area below, they made the discovery of a lifetime. It seems the soldiers based here all those years ago had hidden historical artifacts inside the bunker's walls. They found more World War II relics and other historical artifacts, likely confiscated by the German army. They donated some items and sold the rest to pay back Mr. Griezmann before investing in better equipment. Their ambitions realized the best friends had no plans to ever change careers again. Never finding Harley's owners, they decided to adopt the treasure-sniffing pooch too.